Hello and welcome to Cushy TV, the Straight Talking YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking fighting and politics. Yes, okay, what a week it's been. Yes, we've seen that incident in Manchester Airport, which I'm going to touch on, yeah, with the police and the young man getting kicked in the face. You remember that? Well, tabloids, right? Air all over the press. And Tommy Robinson gathered some 100,000 people on his march in London. So that's going to be the topic today. So let's go back early in the week, yeah? And we're going to start with the Manchester airport incident, where initially we were seen where a policeman had brutally stamped on a bloke's, kicked a bloke in the face and then stamped on his head. Yeah.
Oh shit! Move up!
An Asian male. We saw that, yeah, and it was quickly spread like wildfire, didn't it? But what we didn't know, of course, what was the incident beyond that? Well, apparently it's a 3 to 4 stage situation. And the situation was about a bit like this. There's some unrest on the plane, the flight back from Qatar, coming into Manchester, yeah, with the young man in question and his family, and it then spilled outside afterwards into I think a coffee bar, maybe a Starbucks or something, I'm told, and that much we know. Well, we know footage of that, but what we saw then, we only saw step number 4, where the police officer was using some force, what was deemed as unnecessary force, but now we know different. Step number 3 prior to that, we got this young man, yeah, is actually, as seen in the footage here. I'm going to play this. Many of you may have seen it, and for those of you who ain't, I'm going to play this. Now take a look. Clearly we can see now, here's a young man that's clearly violent. Now we don't know what's happened in stage 1 on the plane, stage 2. But looking at this, I'll bet all my money, all tea in China, there's been a violent altercation in the coffee bar, yeah, where this young man's probably threw his hands around, as he has in here, in picture 3, yeah. He's threw his hands around, sorry, in picture 4, the latest one. So, no, picture 3, sorry. He's threw his hands around, had a fight, yeah, and he's then been approached to be arrested, and he's probably won the battle in the coffee bar. I don't know this, but I'm guessing he's probably won the battle in the coffee bar, and he now thinks he's slightly invincible. But you know, what we are, we're British people that hold the door for ladies. Yeah, this young man, have a look. We've seen in the film he's smashed, yeah, a female police officer in the face. He's knocked one to the floor with full-blooded force. No respect at all, firstly for females, secondly for police, yeah, armed police, yeah. Now, to me, he's been involved in a fight where he's hit 2 females and he's been put to the floor by a taser. He knows these blokes got guns, these police have guns, and they're armed response police. With all the atrocities and all the terrorism we have in the airports, big surprise. Police have got guns. He knows they've got guns. He knows they have tasers and firearm guns. But it doesn't stop him from just wading in him. So he now clearly thinks he can just wade into the law, because he's got no respect for the law, has he? He's got no respect for British law at all. This young man's got no respect at all. And then complains and builds such momentum that a big demonstration, yeah, goes onto the streets of Rochdale. So I tell you what's telling me here, this guy's been brought up in an area where there's no integration. He's been brought up into an area where there hasn't been police, does it? I mean, if you go back, that's the very same town, Rochdale, yeah, covered up all that child sex scandal, didn't it? You know, for years and years and years. how systems got so weak and so weak and poor and scared to just go and do the right thing. They're actually in fear of inciting something what would have been deemed as racist. All these innocent children for many, many years become victims in the very same town. So this young man's been brought up into a town where, basically, excuse me, but it's like, fuck the police. Who are they, what are they? We do what we want. So much, yeah, we're just weighed in to 2 female police officers. We're good old British folk, my friend. Let me tell you, we hold doors for ladies. We don't punch them in the face. And then when you get put to the floor and somebody kicks you in the head and stamps on your head, yeah, in the heat of battle, because you've actually incited a fight. The policeman's been laid off. No, bring him back on tomorrow. Bring him back on tomorrow. Let's start him, yeah. Pay him his money he was off, yeah. Double, yeah, okay. And bring him back on tomorrow. Police brutality, am I up for? No, like, fuck I am. I don't like police brutality, but that is not brutality. That's a young man that picked a fight and got his head. And I'm telling you now, mate, yeah, you'd have been in that terminal, you'd have hit my daughters, yeah, and me and my sons around, just me and my sons, respectively, you would have had a lot more than a kick in the head. You would have hit my daughters or my missus like that. So, take it, yeah, you had a fight and you lost. You picked the wrong fight, yeah, and this is what Britain's got to go back, yeah. That Britain has to fire back and no, this is not lawless streets. They've got to be firm and affirmative. No matter what colour, creed or race you are, if you can't integrate and abide by our law, you're going to have to pay the price with such things if you want to misbehave. And recently we saw the stuff in Leeds, yeah? Cars overturned, policemen being run down the road, yeah? Well, what do? Bring in the British Army. We have them. Why do we train young soldiers? Yeah? Just to scratch their head all day? Bring them in if need be. These are our streets. And now, we move on, you know, this is, I really feel for the people, what I really, really feel for is those great warriors in World War I and II, those brave, brave men that won us our freedoms. Yeah? The people come here, and if you can't respect those, you know, what we stand for, what we won, our freedoms, and a wonderful country, don't bother coming or go back to your natives. Simple. Is it racism? Like, fuck, it's racism. It's not racism. I'm a minority. Yeah, I've had a few sticks and stones through at me. Just get on and ride with it. You know what I'm saying? I get treated more than well. More than well. A bit frustrated, I must say, when my hard working taxes are going. I must say, when we start seeing this stuff. Now
Move. D.
Tommy Robinson gather a big crowd into Trafalgar Square, 100,000 or so. Not like tens of thousands and 15,000 like the tabloids and some of the press report. You know, friends, there's a good 100,000. You've seen the images. You know, it's like filling up Wembley Stadium. Of course it was big. And yeah, so now Tommy's saying, well, we want to win back Britain. Well, you can see where he's coming from, can't you? Or can you? I want you please report back to me. You tell me, is Tommy right or is he wrong? Yeah, they're saying he's far right and he's racist. But, you know, there's a gentleman of colour in the crowd there. And listen to what he has to say.
Good. I'm Joseph.
You're Joseph. Hi. What's the vibe today? What's going on today? What's the
historic day, a big rally, and for the government to know that, look, we love this country. Anybody who comes to this country, he has to respect the values, the people, and then abide the laws.
What are the values? What are those values that you want people to respect?
Yeah, I'm talking about the religious values. This country is a Christian country. It's not a Muslim country. They want to take over. It's not fair to give free houses for people who haven't even contributed a penny into the system. While we, the indigenous people working our pay taxes, you don't get that incentives. It should be British first. Foreigners
As a
second.
man that loves the country that he lives in, that he obviously loves because he's been respected. He's had his opportunity, he's contributed his tax, he lives here, he loves the country. That's not racism, there's nothing at all to do with that. Yeah, integration, culture, yeah, of course. But don't try and overtake, mate, and is Tommy right? Is Nigel Farage, he's gaining some momentum and his Reform UK. You tell me, is it right? The situation in Leeds, yeah? The situation in protesting in the situation in Leeds and the situation in Rochdale and Manchester Airport, respectively. In fear of becoming lawless Britain and having Sharia law. And at this rate, who's to say in those towns, if the police is a no-go area, if we ain't having outlaw, then what law are they having? If they've got to such extremes where they think they can go and punch armed police officers and females at that, full-blooded, and then want to go and incite a riot up the road in protest, say, look, I got kicked in the head. Yeah, you should have got kicked in the head. And all injuries that come with it, you would have deserved. If it led to brain damage, yeah, if it led to you being in a brain damaged state forever, you'd have had one person to blame, yourself, my friend. Yeah? So, you can see where these guys are coming from. As I say, we're gentlemen, and Britain, hold the door for the lady. You first. Yes, that sort of mentality. Don't punch them, don't hit them. Yeah? I feel sorry for the old boys, the whole brave, well, young, they were young, that lost their life, young men and women that died for our freedoms, for this country, our four nations, yeah. Yes, that died for this country, Great Britain, yes. That give all men and women and the survivors that will live with the trauma, that bravery being given up on our streets. Did you see why people are not too happy with it? Yeah, I mean, that's it. Racist me? No, never. Not in a million years. Lots of friends. Muslim friends. Yeah? Hindu friends. Sikh friends. Friends of colour. Yes, all types. Jewish friends. But, let's get it right. We're in Great Britain. I love Spain. Imagine me going to Spain and completely disrespecting their culture and what they stand for. No way, never. I love Spain. I respect them. I try to speak a little bit of their language. I absolutely love and adore the country. Yes? There's an old saying, in Rome you do and Rome do. Yeah, be here by all means. Integrate, work, pay your taxes. Yes, and in Britain, do as Britain do. And we are not doing as Britain done. Anyway, give me the feedback. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in.